It's a... I'm never gonna wait, and it's always swimps. Swimps. All right,
Sweeps.
Oh wow,
welcome
we don't have
back.
to travel far for the swimps, do we?
No,
Swimps?
technically you
No.
kind of have to go around the castle and then a little to the south, and it's kind of there in the back area.
Is the
So we
valley
got
map
backdoor
updated for
swims?
that?
What?
I mean, yeah, the swamps is the area to the south of us.
Yeah, there isn't really a way out of the castle to the south from the way your castle was built. There was really only one entrance to the north originally.
Sure there is,
I mean,
over the wall.
originally, wasn't there like a cliff behind us, so it made sense?
Yeah, well, that actually was more like wild, dangerous lands that were way off to the sort of south
Yeah.
of the castle, or like behind the castle. Technically, it would have been more to the south-ish, because your castle, we're saying it's aligned north and south now, but it wasn't really the same back then, and the other land,
Yeah.
it was mostly north and south. So you kind of have to like walk around the castle, which is probably safer than most things, and then kind of just head south from the back end, and you should reach Swampland.
Sweet.
So our castle doesn't have a back entrance.
No, it currently
Or a
does
back
not.
door.
It does not, because at the time of construction, it didn't need it. It was the farthest south anybody ever lived anyway, so people would only come from one direction. And if you're going to go down that direction, they're either assuming you're crazy enough to survive and come back, or you're not coming back.
It's
Surprisingly,
just crazy.
people didn't expect the castle to be moved.
Yeah, one of those things.
Always expect the castle to be moved.
Anyway, it's probably not as... It's not still difficult to travel to the south. You know, you can kind of loop around the castle. It's only maybe like a day's journey from the south end of the castle to the swamp itself. It is actually quite close in comparison to the forest you went to before. And it's a kind of thick marshland with all kinds of trees, twisted waterways, and kind of like stagnant water that seems to be kind of sitting around. Just sort of scouting out some of the edge of it. You don't really see a lot of ways in, though about half a day into being near the edge of it, you'll actually see what looks to be a kind of busted up raft kind of sitting at the edge of one of the water. Looks like it probably would float. Mostly good condition. Looks like it's taken a little bit of damage. Kind of looking it over, it looks like it's maybe got like something chewed on it at some point in time, but that doesn't seem to have damaged the actual ability to float. Probably was attacked by some kind of swamp creature. Fended off, you're assuming, because that the thing is in sound. It just looks like it's a little old and probably like weathered more than anything.
Okay.
And you can see like, you know, it looks as if there's a winding kind of waterway that goes off from the area it's into, so it kind of probably connects up with some direction of networks.
There's no land that we can walk through here, is there?
I mean, there is some land, but you're gonna have to go through. It looks like from just looking,
I'm not waiting.
it's like you're gonna have to go through water at some point in time.
I want to do a survival check to see if there's any tracks around the boat.
Yeah, think like bayou or marshlands. You got that, like, you know, area.
Yeah. Oh
No.
no.
Seems good.
Nope.
That
Yeah.
dice just like dropped.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Nokren's gonna use his glaive to sort of see how deep the water is next to the boat.
It goes down, and then you get to the end where your hand's at the water's edge.
Okay.
It's deep. Huh?
That's deep. Yeah.
All right. Well, so waiting is out.
Yeah.
If only we had some kind of creature we could ride through this area.
You do have. It looks like there's some like primitive ores sitting on top of here too. There was like a small box on the raft, probably where like maybe things were stored. The box is open, and whatever contents were in it have been removed.
Can I climb in the box?
No, it is smaller than you.
Yeah.
Well, Red,
Right.
how heavy are you?
Oh, that's a good point.
And Nokren, how heavy are you?
Oh, I'm heavy.
The raft is
200
of a decent size, so it looks like it could probably hold all your weights.
More
Should
what
be
I'm
fine.
getting at is we should balance the weight if we're going to use this raft. We should make sure
Either
that
side.
you two are separated here so that we don't tip one way or the other, or
Front and
forward
back.
or backwards.
Mhm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
Front and back in the middle. We're in the middle
Red.
of the middle.
don't worry. You're about the same weight as Nokren.
How heavy are you, Nokren?
259.
Yeah, we're about the same.
Yeah.
Cool.
With this weapon.
Do I need to do a raw intelligence check to know that? Because like I just know that.
I'll
but
just
I
say
assume
like
Tim
you
would.
can kind of like size them up, and kind of get an
Tim-
idea.
I'm about 300 pounds.
Tim pays attention
Yeah,
to
if you count
the male
my
form,
stuff as well, yeah.
so he's checked.
Yeah.
He's noticed.
You could probably, cause there's like a couple of oars. You could each give them an oar and have them on either side of the raft, kind of.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Rufus.
And then strength, so that works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rufus, would you like to take the front or the back? Because I'm okay taking the front, and if we get into any dark areas, I can cast dancing lights.
Question: is there any steering? Like, does it have a
Is
rudder
there a
at
rudder?
all in the back?
Yeah.
Not really. It looks like you just had that
think
steer
that's
by
mostly us.
oars.
Could you
Yeah.
could you makeshift a rudder here?
I mean,
You have woodworking.
Yeah.
honestly, if Red's consistent, you can steer with one oar, like either slow down
You
to
can.
turn or speed up. So,
But then we,
Yeah.
so you're saying that we just keep red going, and then you just like let go, so that we turn like a full, not 360. It would be 280 degrees, and then you just
I mean, it would be
270.
180 than trying to tell them to
270.
stop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also already tell. I will warn you. This place is filled with all kinds of insects.
It's fine.
Okay.
Do we have a?
They get too close, I'll
50-foot
fire.
I'll probably
long
fine.
pole?
Like scales, I'm
Yeah.
good.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. What did you say, Tiff?
Do we have a 50-foot long pole?
No.
Do we have any rope?
Dude.
The other thing.
You probably have rope though.
I have a lot of rope.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just-
I have a lot of.
The reason why I'm suggesting this, and you can disagree with me if you'd like, but my experience in swamps is creatures jumping out, grabbing, and pulling down. I don't think it would be a poor idea to tie ourselves together slightly to help keep us afloat.
The only problem with that is if one of the big guys go overboard,
Yes.
we all
We're
go
all going.
overboard.
I'm not saying we connect everybody. I'm saying that you tie yourself to Nokren, and I tie myself to Red. So that if either one of us gets pulled, only half of us will get pulled.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some rope,
Mhm.
and I'm going to pull out my the grappling hook
Mm-hmm.
in case we need
Bad
to
idea.
in case we need to pull ourselves into a direction.
Outside of character,
Yeah.
will you realize that if
I know
me
what I
or
said.
Nokren gets pulled, the other one, like one of you two, is screwed. Whoever we're attached to, right?
Yes, that's what I was just saying.
Like,
And
Yeah.
I will also point out, you notice that Tim only said, this is out of character, by the way, Tim only said that only half of us will get pulled.
Yeah.
Tim wasn't referring to half of the group. Tim was referring to half of the body.
Oh dear.
Tim is suggesting that there is no good way to do this.
Yeah, he's probably right, and Nokren would at least agree that there needs to be some form of rope.
Secure.
Warping
We
half.
could secure to the boat, but then we're potentially going to be pulled with the boat.
I mean, it's a raft, so it's kind of like a bunch of
Yeah,
logs
no
stuck
way.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could easily get a. You could probably shove a rope around one of them because they are lashed together themselves.
Yeah, but the thing is, then if one of us gets pulled, we're all of a sudden on a
Ripping the
fishing
raft
line.
apart.
Yeah.
We can't lose the raft, yeah.
The other option is stand as close to the center as we possibly can of the raft, so that if any creature has to come close, well, we get a chance to stab it before it leaps.
Agree.
I think the way Tim is proposing is best, because at least if we get the big ones get grabbed, we have a chance of fighting back. If you guys get grabbed, we have a chance of holding on.
It's not a good plan, but it is
No.
a plan. And
Yeah.
at this point in time, I don't really trust this raft, but I have grown to trust you, and Red, I've grown to trust you as well. So
I'm gonna have the grappling hook on the ground next to me, but I'm gonna have my bow out.
Okay.
and I'm going to have my longsword out in one hand.
Okay.
I pulled out the spear. Ah.
I don't know that I can use that. I cannot use that.
Well, you could use it. It's just you don't have proficiency.
No. Tim is very much considering of, if I don't know how to use a weapon, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I think Nokren's just actually I better put my AC down because I'm gonna put the shield on my back and have the oar in one hand and the great sword in the other, just like
Yeah.
ready to.
So you're gonna try to like one hand or it though.
Red,
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
hold on to the spear for now, unless Rufus would like to use it. I don't know if he can, but I can't use the spear well. I could
think
use
I'm
it,
better
but
with what I have.
I would agree, and I think, as terrible as I am with this blade, I've got another hand free that's, well, I won't be casting any fire, let's put it that way, but I will be, if need be, doing some magic, and I'll do a little bit of dancing lights in front, just to show that I'm still magical.
We
Okay.
might not want to do that to draw attention.
And then stuff them.
So you'll pretty easily be able to push the raft from the kind of shore into the water itself and get traveling. As I said, this area is very heavy bogs. When you can't even tell how deep they are. There's kind of like brown, murky water, and you can see there's these like things of land with really tall trees coming out of them with twisted undergrowth. And the trees are kind of creating these canopies. So, like, you do have land in, like, these weird, sporadic, twisted areas. But it's like, if you thought about traveling in them, would be very difficult. This is acceptable. All of you are having a horrible time with the insects. There are swarms of tiny, biting creatures, like, going all over you at every second. There's, like, they're just, like, it's just unpleasant.
Red light's a
okay?
torch.
Okay.
Is
All right.
Nokren okay with the insects because of scales?
They're seemingly getting like in between the scales with little bites inside. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I light a torch and have like the smoke billowing on Red as he rows.
Yeah. They're staying away from you while you got the torch out.
We may not want to have that torch out for too long, if we're trying not to draw attention.
Do we pass any? Do we pass close to any of the pieces of land?
Probably, yeah. You can easily get close to any of them. As I said, like the raft seems like it can easily travel through these like waterways, but they're not that wide.
Can I do? Can I keep an eye out for anything that looks like stuff's been pushed aside, for like any sort of movement of either another raft or something big, like
Sure.
sign that someone's tried to push through somewhere?
Okay.
Oh no, I don't see a thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna suggest. Could you go near one of those land masses for a moment?
Well, moving slightly closer.
I'm going to grab a
Distracted.
handful of mud and start rubbing it on any exposed area of my body.
Okay.
Puts his
Did
back
you
out
check
again?
the mud for bugs first?
No, he did
I'm
not.
serious, man. Have you been in a swamp?
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Anyway, and continuing on.
You're now muddy and still maybe slightly less bitey, but not quite less bitey.
A little bit helps.
Anyway, you'll push on for a while, and you're easily kind of losing track to a degree of where you're going. You can do things to sort of mark where you've been in various trees and stuff, but it feels very, like, maze-like in this entire area. And you do see some dangerous things. Nothing seems to be bothering you right now. But, like, You look over into like one of the shores, and you see a very decent-sized crocodilian lying on the shore, seemingly enjoying a little bit of like a ray of sun coming down through one of the trees.
And then it
Would
gets
that be the
snatched
giant
up
lizards?
by a larger lizard. No, there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, no,
As you kind of
That larger lizard gets eaten by a seemingly humongous frog that shoots its tongue out at it.
Which then
So
goes
would this
by
be the
a
lizard that
giant
the guy was talking about, or would this just be crocodiles?
hard to say.
Don't know.
Why don't you do a nature check?
You kind of
Yeah.
sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Watch me get a 1 again. That's still terrible.
Wow.
Wait.
It could be.
Nokren?
Oh, no. It's not an it could be, sir.
The thing is, what he described wasn't a lot of information. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to say. So that's why it could be what they were talking about. But you know that there are crocodilians in the river, and people have talked about it. So you're guessing that, no, this is not what he was talking about.
Go 6
Logically speaking, from what information you've heard and from what people have said, no.
After a while, Red is starting to get concerned with our guidance system here.
Yeah. Like you round a corner to see some kind of like massive crab eating at something dead in the water, and you kind of disturb it, and it kind of sinks down into it.
So Red's gonna start going like, no. We're going this way.
Can I do another survival to try and
Oh,
orient
crap.
us?
You see this
Everyone
one.
else is doing
You
it.
like you. All of you pass by this one tree that is just literally covered in web.
Why?
Nope.
Why?
No more spiders.
Always roll
No more
20s?
spiders.
Look, I'm annoyed by this as well because I rolled a 20 on the nature check and then I also rolled a 20 on the survival. These are not things that are useful for me. But I want to know where we're going now.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good on keeping you on track. I would say deeper into the swamp. You will also
I
do
am-
a couple
I am.
things. Like there was a point in time where like Nokren kind of like is getting down into the water, and you feel like he's getting a little close, and you notice something in the water and stop him as some kind of strange large shape kind of moves up, kind of crests the surface, and then just disappears under the murky water. It's like
I hate this.
keep the hands away from it just a little bit more, you know?
You guys
Red,
wanted to go to the
warm
swamp.
in.
I hate this place. I hate it. I hate it.
Let's drift for a minute. We're not
Stop.
red.
No, I was
Oh,
putting
he
it
was
in
putting
the
it
boat.
away. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's a terrifying creature. I believe those will either be the lizards that he's talking about, or perhaps there's worse things here than we thought there were.
Could be a fish.
Give me a perception check. You're coming up a kind of like a fork in the water.
Okay, it wasn't another 20.
I see nothing.
Okay.
I'm rolling terribly.
I got a 16. I think that's pretty good.
You... Tim, I'm going to give this to you.
Ooh,
As you're
was
coming-
it like a really high DC?
You're coming up to the fork, and you kind of are looking to side, and you swear you see a massive shape in the left fork. And for a second, you see the glint of something black cresting the water before disappearing, heading away from the direction you are in currently. Large and black-scaled.
So, anybody
You have a
else
choice
see
to
that?
What?
Huh?
See what?
Okay. There was a large black-scaled creature traveling down that left fork.
Let's
Walker's
not
gonna
go
start
that way.
moving us towards the right fork.
No, Nokren, wait.
What?
Wait.
Okay.
Do we want to try and catch a beastie?
Not on a boat.
Not suggesting on a boat.
Gathered together.
To the right, then.
Ah, ah.
I'm gonna say that all of you do seem a little better off with Red's torches, as he keeps probably putting them out, because the fire does sort of like help, like almost like to a degree they're staying away from the fire. So it does help.
So which way are we going?
Right fork, I guess, then.
Well, to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest with you, it was moving away from us to the left.
Still, we don't want to turn it around.
No, we don't want to turn it around.
And there could be more.
There could be more.
You say saying, as you see like a crocodile head float by.
Oh.
The devil you know might be better than the devil you don't. We don't know what's down that right path.
Like just ahead.
Like
the head of a crocodile out the top.
Oh,
yeah. It's got that like, you know.
It's not just like a decapitated
No,
crocodile.
not
like
like
from the
just
Godfather.
the head.
You just open up your sheets and there's the head of a crocodile.
Well, I thought it was like it ate the rest of it and left.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you were suggesting that thing ate the crocodile.
Could have.
It could have.
Probably.
But this one seems alive and just floating by you.
I'm the croc head.
Whatever Tim saw was very large, like your raft size large.
Yeah.
Nope. Other way. Definitely other way for now. For now.
That's where Red wants to go.
Yeah, but no.
I think for now, let's head to the right, see if we can get ashore somewhere in here.
I'm okay with fighting things on land. No water. Lightning. Water bad.
Fair. Well, potentially, if we're on land and this thing comes up on water, potentially pretty good.
Land. Good.
Yeah.
Me, water bad.
I agree.
You're talking like Red now.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that he's rubbing off on you, but at the same time, complete sentences do help.
I lived in fields,
I hate this
not
place.
in water.
Me too. We all hate this place. None of us were built for water. And also, can I make a note that we did not at all wait for grits?
She said she would.
Nokren's gonna like look back and be like, oh.
I mean, you kind of marked your path with like trees and stuff. Maybe she'll notice that.
See, you guys keep talking about how bad of a time you're having. Red's been smiling the entire time.
Yeah.
Like,
Red might get.
Red has killed thousands of creatures in the time that we've been in this spot because he just swats at them.
there's like a swarm of gnats and he goes like this and kills a whole bunch of them, or like shoves fire into like a swarm that's coming into him, like as you like see the popping of insects.
Fire's red.
Okay, so we go right.
Okay,
We go right.
all right. You'll continue along your path, and what are you doing to rest?
That depends. How long has it been?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm going to
We
say
took our short rest
you did take your short rest.
before we left, right? So.
Yeah, and it's been over a day since you left the castle. So you should be rested up for leaving into the swamp.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's probably getting closer now. It's been like maybe half a day of travel.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Why don't we move towards one of the land masses? I wrap my rope and grappling hook around, tether it to the boat, and we take shifts.
Sleeping
I
on the
would
boat
be
is a bad idea. Red. Why?
We have no other land to do that.
ground bad. Things come out water.
That's why we take shifts.
Are there trees?
There's lots of trees.
How comfortable
Trees.
do you feel
Better.
climbing trees?
Yeah, I think tree's a good idea.
We don't know what might be in the trees.
No, we don't. But we don't know what might be in the water or on the land. Trees, at least, we have an advantage on 2 out of the 3. You have a ranged weapon.
Well, there's also not much land to rest on either.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, I think trees are a good idea.
Okay.
Someone should still stick with the boat so it doesn't.
Oh no, tie
Something
it up.
doesn't. Well, right, but that doesn't mean something can't
snap.
snap the rope.
Well,
That's also why I was suggesting
Shifts.
we take shifts on the raft.
Shifts. I only need 4 hours, and I will trance for those 4 hours. Then I can watch from then, but someone will have to take 2 hours, and then 2 hours, and then I can take over from there.
I'll stay up the. I'll stay up the first watch because you guys are probably a lot more tired.
Okay.
You've
That's
been
our
rolling.
point. Malcolm will have a nap, then be on second watch.
Okay.
So you only need 6 hours out of an 8-hour rest to actually get a full rest. Is that correct?
Yeah, of
So-
sleep.
Off sleep, yeah.
Yeah, of sleep. So then, technically speaking, if we do 2-hour shift, 2-hour shift, then I take the remaining 4 hours because I only need to transfer 4.
Yeah.
So I would transfer the first 4 hours and then take the last 4 hours
Okay.
of shift.
I will warn you, unless you do something specifically about the bugs, you're not going to get a great night's sleep.
I think we need
I was going
to
to keep
start
the
a fire.
torches going.
I think we need to start a
I
fire.
think things are going to know we're here anyway. I think fire is a good idea.
You could
Specifically,
probably
We
easily
have-
have one at the bottom of the tree that's got smoke coming up to it, where like the person on the raft
That's
could like
gonna
throw
be
stuff.
unpleasant, but it's less unpleasant than the bugs.
It will.
the
So
smoke will keep away the bugs, right?
Yeah.
So that's...
Mhm.
And, so... Yeah, I'm going to transfer the first 4 hours here.
Okay, and whoever's on the boat can occasionally tend to the fire then too. We can say. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able. You should do that easily. I mean, like there isn't a lot of like dry brush, but the trees themselves are like. You can occasionally find some like dead pieces of some of them that are still like kind of standing. You can break off that haven't been in the water.
I also still have some wood,
Yep. From the
and we also
enchanted
have
forest.
torches.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have a tinderbox
Yep.
as well. So
Yep.
like we're good to start the fire for sure. It's just maintaining it. It's the
Mhm.
thing.
Like
If it
nothing.
starts going out.
Yeah. The
Lightning.
first couple
I
of
also
ships.
have fire.
The first couple of shifts, uneventful.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
relatively speaking, I will say uneventful. Like the normal kind of like look of things that are there. Tim.
I wake up for the fourth shift, by the way.
Okay.
Like, to stay
The
up.
last 2 hours.
Yeah, to be kind of hanging out with Tim. So Tim, during that first couple of hours of the third shift, though, you're sitting there, and you kind of see this like something kind of like disturb the water a little bit, because as I said, this place is pretty stagnant water. There does seem to be a couple of small currents occasionally, but a lot of time you're not sure where that's coming from. It just seems like just water just
Right.
sitting around, and you for a moment it takes you aback because you realize for just a couple of seconds there's some kind of dark shape under the water, something a little bit different the tint, and it kind of moves on from you.
I mean,
You're guessing
be
it was
put
some
off a
kind
little
of fish just from the shape of it, though. Like very long
swamp
shape.
shark.
No, because it didn't have a fin.
Schwark.
Uh-oh.
But it was like maybe like 10 at least feet long.
Larger?
Eel.
There's a smaller than the last creature we saw.
Probably smaller.
Probably smaller.
Yeah. Still pretty massive, like probably as big as some of the crocodilians in this area.
Okay.
Like the top end crocodiles. Because we're saying this will be like, we're like Nile crocodiles in this area.
Okay. I mean, I was probably sitting down by the fire.
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna stand up, and I'm gonna draw the long sword, just in case.
Mhm.
It's a fish. It's not coming out of the water, but I'm not going near the water. I'm just gonna draw the long sword because usually if there's a fish, there's food. Whether it's the food or it's looking for something else. And if it's that big, who knows? It might eat a croc. So I'm just gonna draw the sword just in case, but mostly just keep an eye out. I'm not gonna wake anybody else. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna kind of draw in the ground with the sword a little bit.
Mhm.
Just lightly.
Okay.
Nothing that would pop the bubble that we're standing on.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Yeah. And can I do a perception check on that to see if I could get any more information out of it?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Not bad.
The ship kind of like moves out of sight pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then like while it's out of the water, you hear some kind of struggle very quickly, and then quiet from the direction it was heading to.
Where there's a fish, there's food.
Mm-hmm.
Fish are friends.
There's
not
always a
food.
bigger fish.
Yeah.
The
Was
main-
there any way for me to tell that? Like, I'm guessing I would have had to roll better if it was the thing being struggled with, or if it, like,
Not
no
really.
real way.
Not
It's not
really.
the same direction.
Whatever direction it was heading is where the noise came from. It's hard to tell if it got something or something got
Or
it though.
something got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna just kind of watch out that way a little bit.
Mhm.
If I have a direction, I'm gonna like keep a little bit of a stronger eye that way.
Mhm.
I'm also assuming like I have dark vision as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So like I mean it wouldn't have been great, but was it within 60 feet?
Whatever the noise is beyond that, and it seemed to kind of
Beyond
it was like a little bit wise, like kind of like the path curves a little bit already, so it was kind of around a curve, like so there was some like trees and stuff in the way
So
already.
it's far enough away that I'm not that worried about it then.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna go back to just tending to the fire and
And eventually Red will wake up and join you, and things will
Yeah.
be pretty quiet until everybody wakes up.
When I climb down and kind of like plop down next to him. Oh, help us. This is an orcish, obviously.
yeah.
It make us seem bigger. Creatures not mess with this much. Land we small.
I noticed that as well. The creature moved away from the large rafts. I'm worried that if it sees us on land, it won't hesitate to jump at us.
Mm.
If we aren't careful, there is a good chance that we die in the swamp.
Like home.
Like home.
As the other two are beginning to wake up, though, you now notice that like a little bit of a kind of almost mist or fog is kind of rolling in.
Oh, don't like that.
Nope, don't like that at all.
On boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you sleep, Rufus?
Like a log.
You all you all smell deliciously smoked.
Yeah.
And
We
mud.
all smell like
I've
camp.
smoked mud now.
you are smoked.
The
now.
mud is probably just like caked on now because it's probably dried.
Oh, it's
and
long
it's
since
a little
dried. You just like
That was the point.
you're just kind of covered
Yeah.
in dirt now.
bit. Yeah.
The thing about the smoke, though, is that it will help keep away bugs, since we're just covered in the smell. You won't
Yes.
have to keep the torches
Yeah.
as lit.
Nope.
Yeah.
It does help it'll help for a while at least.
Before we set off, I want to do a perception check to see if there's anything that's going to be weird around the water, and I would suggest that other people like take a look too.
I'm also going to unhook the grappling hook.
Yeah. Damn.
I can't see crap tonight.
You kind
Hey,
of
tall people, stop sticking your butts in my face.
Sorry. Sorry.
My tail just like
what are you
whips his
what are you
face
what are you looking
back
for,
and-
Tim?
Oh, fuck, whoops.
What are you looking for? Tim?
Specifically, what I'm looking for is if anything is around right now. If there are any creatures around us, things that maybe there's different colors in the water. You know, I'm looking for like whether
Yeah,
or not there
yeah. are
are any large creatures that are going to eat us as soon as we step onto that raft.
You don't see anything. Neither of you see anything. Neither you or Narakin, who get the best kind of look around, really see anything.
Were you looking for the same thing, Nokren, or were you looking for something else?
No, I was looking for the same thing. Just anything that might be a risk
Yeah,
for us
just
starting
danger.
out.
Really,
Yeah,
just
danger
looking
in
for
general.
danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lived in the wilds. I probably didn't like swamps and probably didn't go to them much, but I still know about them.
Yeah. Red is you're just kind of doing your general check of kind of like looking around and where you're going and stuff like that and keeping on the track, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, see if we can help to get some bear. No.
Okay.
Nope.
Apparently, I can't roll worth a crap tonight.
Well, I'm at the front of the
Meanwhile-
boat, so this is like
Meanwhile, Tim
this is
can-
why I'm at the front of the boat. So
Tim can't fail a roll.
Rated.
ooh, that's exciting.
Hey.
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome to the party. Hold on, there's a man for that.
Yes.
Uh, So, yeah, no. So I'm just basically making sure that we stay on track. We continue down the way there with that
Okay.
survival jack. Like I'm at the front of the boat. I'm still
Yeah.
like just letting people know where we're at.
Yep. All right. So Raft will continue on its journey. It's a little harder now because there's this kind of like fog / mist that's kind of moved onwards. But you notice that the water around you is actually opening up, as if you're getting into a much larger open area, and like almost maybe like a little lake or something. And as you're kind of pushing onwards through this deeper water, the fog even seems to go thicker than you seemingly have ever seen, and you feel lost, but you're kind of continuing to push on. And then the fog begins to sort of lift, and merging from this kind of mist, you see a rickety-looking dock coming into view.
Great friends.
And as you come closer, the fog lifts, and you see small buildings covered with plants and vines as the air clears up. And an abandoned settlement is before you.
Abandoned, you say?
It looks
Is that-
like it looks abandoned.
Looks abandoned.
Because you can see like all the buildings are kind of like overgrown and like, covered in stuff.
Bullywugs.
Yeah.
Guys,
There's like
I-
there's the like kind of rickety dock. It's kind of got like a small ladder coming down to the water's edge from there.
Rufus.
I think
Doc.
I should scout ahead a little bit. I'd say get up on land, but let me go
I
ahead a little.
try.
Oh dear.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be loud coming into the dock. Probably best if we don't try and sneak, but you try and sneak around a bit ahead. We're gonna make noise one way or the other.
The Raft
Um,
like hits the dock. Like,
yeah.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Red's attempt at stealth is getting low.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have disadvantage now.
I'm gonna.
Yes, you do.
It doesn't matter.
Before we go any further, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Smart boy.
Oh,
yeah.
damn, it lasts
So yeah, it lasts for 8 hours. So I'm gonna have 14 AC.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually put that on my character sheet because I will forget. No, I don't know how to edit apparently because I'm
What's your deck
Okay,
mod?
press the little thing
1
that-
plus 1.
Wouldn't you have 15 then because of the cloak?
Yeah.
Nope,
Cloak
because
gives
my
you
cloak of
plus
protection.
1 AC.
No, my cloak is a different cloak of protection unless Matt led me astray because it gives me +1 to saving throws.
And AC.
And
It does
AC.
that as well.
Oh,
It's AC and saving
Yeah.
throws.
Yeah.
okay. Well then, yes, because I actually should have 13 already then, so I'm just getting the Dex mod and the cloak on top of that, I guess. So, yes, so I'll be at 15, but I still can't edit it because I'm bad at this.
You have to press the little pencil.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yep. And then go to the armor section,
Yeah.
and you could put. I put in like cloak also for AC 1, and then you could do a.
Yeah.
You could
Mage
name it
armor as
Mage
an armor.
Yeah, no, it's just not.
Because under your general things, I think the cloak of protection.
Because you
Doesn't-
can't
I
edit
have
the AC.
the cloak of
correct.
protection. I gave you under the one area +1 AC +1 saves under the modifiers.
Oh, so I would be at 14 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Can I add-
you wear
No,
you don't wear any kind of armor, right?
if
Correct.
his dex mod is 1, then it would be 13 +1 +1.
Yeah, because normally,
So it'd be 15.
so your AC is normally just 12 because of the armor, because of the protection and the dex, and so now it goes to 13 +2, basically.
Yeah, so 15.
Uh,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, same as me. 15.
I don't know how to. Whatever. You know what? Anyways,
Just remember it.
Remember it.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna just
like,
remember
yeah.
it's 15
Yeah.
because this is just not working right now. I will set that up later.
Yeah. All right. So you've reached the docks.
I'm stealthing ahead.
Well, since
I mean,
everyone else is trying to stealth, I'm gonna try and stealth as well. But I'm like,
You can
they're
climb up
not
onto-
really doing so well.
You can climb up onto this dock, and you can see that there's like a series of like wooden walkways that sort of walk over this area. It's like a big
They're still
island that you're on. You can see kind of there's a building nearby to here, like kind of right at the docks. And it seems like there is one larger building and a series of smaller huts in various states of repair and disrepair.
Okay.
So we're gonna go bust some doors in
Okay.
and go in guns blazing, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure that's a smart idea?
No, it's a
No,
terrible idea.
no.
We're not doing
I
that.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm scouting ahead.
Yeah, no.
Let
Yeah.
him scout.
As I said,
Yeah,
like there's
I think we're gonna stay by the dock for a minute
Yeah.
and just kind of let Rufus go ahead first, and we're gonna just
all right.
hang out,
So
talk about our feelings, you know.
I want to do a survival check on my way to closest hut and just see if there's any tracks or footprints around.
Okay. It's a wooden walkway. The answer is no. Basically, the docks go straight to this like raised wooden walkway that seems to have been put in place in case maybe flooding occurs.
No mud prints. Got it.
Yeah, there's no mud to step into. The wooden walkways that lead between all these different huts, and the wood doesn't really leave footprints anyway.
Well, when I get to the first hut, I'm gonna. Is there a door, or is it just wide open?
The first hut here looks to be some kind of like hut used for like fishermen or something. It's got kind of like a wide open side of the one wall.
Okay, I'm gonna step in and look around.
All right. You can kind of see that there's all kinds of like really old equipment here in various states of repair. You kind of can see that almost there's like nesting of equipment that it seems like something might have been laying on top of a big pile of it, and kind of partially buried on it seems to be the skeletal remains of someone. Like it was like in the bottom of whatever this nest was.
Does it look humanoid?
Looks humanoid.
I'm guessing that it's like completely just bone.
Just bone. Looks like it's kind of got. It does. You really can't tell if something necessarily like. It looks like things had eaten it, probably at one point in time, but it's hard to tell if it was already dead or alive. You know, there's some marks on the bones.
Is there any actual like fishing equipment that's in decent repair?
Sure. You could get probably a bunch of twine, some fishing hooks, maybe a net, if you really wanted them.
I'm going to gather it up and at least put it on the outside of the hut.
Sure. I mean, it looks like there's still some piles of stuff if you wanted to look through that also.
Sure. I'll take a good look through everything.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
Yeah, let's hope I get at least as well as I did with the last roll.
Oh, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
You will find, like, looking around, you actually kind of notice this by chance. You'll kind of step down, kind of like in the back, and you hear kind of like a weird kind of creak noise. It feels a little different. There's a loose floorboard. And inside it seems to be some kind of sack.
I'll pull it out, open it.
It seems to contain some coinage. A little
200 spiders emerge from the sack.
a gem and some kind of book or journal.
I'll pull out the book.
All right. It's written in a language you don't understand.
Okay. I will put it back in the sack.
Yeah. You're like, all right then.
And walk. I'll drag the equipment out and bring out the sack, and wave you guys over.
Okay.
All right. Walking up. Yep.
Okay.
I want to
this is like the
Do a
first
perception check.
hut. Like from here, the kind of dock area on the land dock, I'll call it, the wooden walkways. One of them seems to lead up to the largest building here, which is like a really large building in comparison to the other, like 4 times the size of it. And you could go easily to the right and head over towards the other buildings if you wanted to.
That perception check was just like a general, is anything coming to kill us right now?
No, you seem to not be being killed right now.
Good news.
Tim,
Yes.
I'm gonna reach into the bag I found and hand you the journal. Can you read this?
I'm going to take it, and I take a look, and I'll open up the book and see what language it's in, hopefully.
Taking a look here at languages. You do not speak this language.
So,
Can
okay.
we have a chance of recognizing it?
Yeah. Well, I can look over his shoulder and have a look in.
I'm going to say one of you may have seen the language before, but you can't place it naturally. Like, you say, like, I've seen that language, but you can comprehend language. That you can do.
Okay,
Ritual?
so we go to
Ritual.
Yeah, ritual. Okay. So the journal seems to be of some fisherman. A lot of it talks about his day-to-day life. But then he also, like, you begin to see, like, innocuous things which begin to, like, hit in the back of your mind something strange is here. You basically begin to interpret that there was some kind of cult in this village, and they would sacrifice travelers to their god. The fisherman expresses regret in this, but he knows he can't survive outside the settlement.
We're in Innsmouth now, boys.
He also mentions a secret area under the chieftain's hut, and he also mentions seeing a massive black lizard guarding a cave, which he narrowly avoided. And he also talks about some stories about the people of the plains and the fairies of the forest, as he calls them.
Okay, so...
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
I
So
also
what
found.
you're saying is we need to go back and find that lizard so we can get into its cave.
First, we need to go to the chieftain's hut and find out what's down there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Probably a ritual sacrifice room. Just throwing that out there.
I also found.
Which Tim would love.
Absolutely.
Skeleton.
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Oh.
Wait, no, what?
Oh,
Rufus, what?
hold on. Rufus,
I
what did you say?
also found a skeleton.
Humanoid?
Yes. Appears to be maybe the fisherman's remains.
What else did you find?
I'll pull out the sack.
And Tim would just say at that point, may I take a look?
I open it up.
Okay. Matt, what did you say? What else was in there? I know
Coins
coinage.
and one gem.
Mm. Do we know what the gem is?
It's just
It's not a pearl.
no.
right?
It's a small garnet.
Oh, okay. I'd just take a look and I'd be like, oh, just keepsakes for yourself then, Rufus. That's no problem. And I'd hand it back.
It would
I'd say
be
it's just-
14 gold, 23 silver, and a gem worth like 25.
I wouldn't say that that's what it was. I'd just hand it back to Rufus and say, oh, that's nice. I don't blame you for taking that. And then but may I hold on to the book? Just
Of course. I figured you'd be the most useful with it.
I appreciate that. And I'd just tuck it away. And turn to the others and I'd just say, well, there was really nothing else of value there. So why don't we go to the chieftain's hut?
I'm also going to point out, I also did find some usable fishing equipment in case we do camp here a little while.
Does anybody know how to fish?
I do.
Pulled up a javelin.
There seems to be. I will note. There seems to be 7 other huts. 3 of them are clustered kind of behind this one here. 3 of them are kind of spread out, leading to another hut that seems to go out over the water, kind of back farther. And then there's the really big hut that's nearby to you.
We might
But
want to
that's
save
just a really big
Chieftain for
one.
last.
I suppose his secret room just tantalizes me. I think there might be
Yes,
secrets
but if
there.
it's dangerous, would you rather hit that first?
With all of my spell capabilities and with a well-rested body, yes.
If you want to, then.
I don't necessarily
We
think
might
it's
be able to find more information, like more
That
journals
is
like this around.
what I'm kind of suggesting. Is if you believe that we could find use elsewhere, I will absolutely say we can go elsewhere. I know that I can get ahead of myself sometimes when it comes to the unknown.
Red!
And Tim would just pat Red on the shoulder there, and and just look away for a moment.
Nokren is
Kinda
gonna
lost in
start
thought.
searching the houses. Can I use investigation?
Sure.
Which
Start
which
help-
ones are we going to?
Oh.
I guess the closest three.
Yeah, let's go to the closest three then.
Okay.
I trip over on the way. I don't get them. Oh.
I trip over your tail.
All right. The first
Oh, you did
one.
a perception though, not an investigation.
Investigation's worse.
The first building
Ew.
seems to be completely burned down. It's like like rubble. It's been burned. A quick glance over, you can easily notice there seems to be the charred bodies of 3 in here.
Fire.
I do medicine to figure out because I don't want to know, but I also do.
So you're gonna like get close and like try to investigate the bodies.
Can I, before he does that, I want to roll some Arcana. Seems fine, probably.
Seems fine, probably, yeah. Okay.
We are
they're-
rolling
they're-
like garbage.
They are very well burnt.
Yep. These are dead bodies.
Yep. Like Tim, you'll kind of like look at the bodies. It's really hard to tell if there's anything other than the burns that, like, were they alive or dead before they were burned? You can't really tell. They're aged and like kind of charred. Like, you know, a lot of the charred flesh has come off. Just like kind of blackened bones are mostly what's left of this, and probably like a little bit of like what would have really been like crisped up humanoid.
I'm gonna head to the next hut.
There's not much to be had in this one, by the looks of it. But
Its neighbor is in really good condition. The door is closed and is just sitting there.
I'll check for any traps.
hold
just-
on. Yes,
There
that's
it is,
exactly right. Please check for traps. Seems fine.
Seems
How
fine.
long does my 17th to perception last for all these searches?
Pretty well.
Nokren's gonna
Okay.
start opening the door.
Okay.
Bunch of spiders come out.
No. All right.
Fire comes out.
So this building is fairly simple. Like, it looks like a kind of like one room building for a family, kind of got like a sleeping area. Looking around though,
Oh Jesus!
you will kind of find that there are some preserved foods, probably still edible. You actually find a jar of which you, for a second, like, is a little dried out but sealed up, and you realize it's some kind of strange-looking honey.
I get.
I'm gonna
Honey.
dip my. I'm gonna
Yeah,
dip
you
my
get
finger
a-
in.
Yeah, you also find a trap door kind of back in that area that seems to lead down. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I was looking for, because with that, I'm like, oh good, I got some honey.
I got a 20
Hooray.
perception, and I'm like, yay! This is what I roll on.
Well, you
Right.
both kind of get that, yeah.
Red eats some of the honey, by the way.
It's incredibly delicious.
He doesn't care about that.
Does it seem fine?
I mean,
Yeah, that's what he's checking for.
the honey? Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. We have some preservatives.
Yeah.
Take it back up. Put it in the pack.
Yep.
So this
Oh,
trap door.
Let him test it. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I trust him. He has
I'm
the
gonna
most
check the
process.
traps on the trapdoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red ate the honey because it's supposed to help with like any kind of allergies caused by plants in the area. So
Okay.
he's been around this
Yeah.
shit before.
Doesn't it made anything on it?
Okay,
Seems
I'll
good.
try to see if I can open it up.
Yeah, it opens.
Peer down.
Hold on. While you're looking down there, I want to just cast some dancing lights to give us a little bit of vision, just in case it's dark down there.
Good idea.
Okay. You can see that it kind of the water goes, the ladder, there's like a little ladder that goes down into water. Like the entire room seems to be flooded.
Flooded, but it's a room. There's structure to it.
Yeah, it's like an underground, like, chamber.
With the dancing lights and with what we can see, how much of the room can we see right now?
You can see a pretty good portion of it. It seems like there's, like, the ladder goes down into, like, a small hallway and then opens up into a larger room.
Now,
Like, maybe like a 5-10 foot hallway before it enters in the big room. You can't really see much into the big room to see what's in there, though.
Red.
Red.
Oh no, Rufus, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, Nokren, would you like to try to climb partially down the ladder and stick your pole in the water? See how deep it may be?
Can we see the bottom of it? So we can't. I thought we could see the first room, sort of thing.
We can.
Can we
but
see?
we
Can we
don't-
see the floor? That's the real question here.
Yeah.
Can we see
Yeah.
the floor?
You can't see the floor. It's like dark, murky,
Okay.
stagnant water.
Then Nokren will reluctantly get it a little bit lower and try and stick the glaive in to see if he can.
Okay. It looks about maybe 3 foot deep.
Well, Rufus, I think you've got to stay up here.
Red, can I sit on your shoulders?
Ah,
Do I go in? And Nokren's actually asking that.
Tim is gonna say not yet. And-
Nokren, you can see
back.
like there's some stuff floating in the water where you're assuming are like crates and barrels, and you can see there does appear to be like a couple of doors in the back of this area, seemingly openable. Probably out of this main room where things are
Right.
stored.
Nokren
This is
is not happy.
In Orcish, Tim is gonna turn to Red and say, "What are you thinking?"
were any of the food that we got like meat?
Probably not. It was probably just like really preserved stuff. Maybe like some kind of jar of weird pickles or something that somehow is still good. I don't know. Like after
We have
forever.
We have rations, which is hardtack.
Yeah.
You just found some like really well preserved stuff that's like ancient. You're not sure how old, but at least years by now.
Okay.
Meat. Grow water. See what bite.
Tell you what, Nokren, why don't you come back up here for a moment?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get one of the some of the twine.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say let's fish.
Because
And
what
the
I was
hooks.
going to do was, well, you know what? No, let's let you guys do this before I do something that's a little bit too drastic.
Okay.
I was in Orcish, by the way. So
Yeah.
only Tim understood and he hasn't
Um,
told
I
me.
thought you said meat.
No.
Sir. My bad.
He was
I-
it didn't work though.
Then I
So,
wouldn't have any clue.
Tim would turn back and say, he's suggesting that we throw some, well, chum the waters, as it were.
How about I go get some twine and a fishing hook, and we could maybe put some hardtack on the end?
I don't know that hardtack would do it. There are a lot of bugs around, though, if you
We
can
could-
catch one.
I could try fishing. We get. I can, with the whole. I could go see if I can catch a fish with that.
Sure, you can catch fish. This fish looks toothy and mean.
Okay, so I go.
Yes.
fish, come back.
You find something that's like, ugh. It's not like a piranha,
Maybe-
but it's something that like is just as mean looking, kind of thing. It's just like.
Do we have a
I have it.
bucket? Do we have a bucket? And do we have
Probably
means to chop it up?
Probably not a bucket, but probably you have some nice daggers and knives and stuff.
Yeah.
One
Hand it to Red.
Red just
Well-
splits the stomach open so the guts are kind of hanging out.
It's
I was
it's
gonna say,
still
and
trying to
we
like it's still biting at you as you're like tearing its like as you're cutting its guts
Oh.
open.
Oh yeah, Red just grabs hooks, sticks it through its jaw, ties it to the twine, and starts lowering it down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's like slowly stopping, but it's still chewing on the hook. You know.
It's still chewing in the wow.
As its like guts have been torn out, it's like dying horribly,
It's
but it's like
resilient. Wow.
yeah. It's slowing down now. I mean, you know, it's dying definitely. It's
Enters
just
the water. What happens?
That was essentially Red's life for a few years, was just dealing with swamp things.
it sits in the water. Nothing happens.
Oh.
Red lifts it up, slowly bring it back up, spins it, see if there's any anything sticking to it new.
No, it's very dead now. It did pass away finally, but it's just
No
a fish.
leeches.
Nope.
Hands it back to Rufus, climbs down the ladder into the water.
Okay.
I'm gonna climb down after him and get on his shoulders.
Tim's gonna stay up top,
Okay.
and Tim is gonna basically keep watch since everyone so quickly jumped down there, and he's kind of like, we didn't even talk
Nokren's
about.
not down there yet. If Nokren
Oh,
goes down
okay.
there, he's going down there slowly and really not
All
wanting
right,
to.
Nokren, why
Yeah?
don't you stay up here and keep watch?
I can do that.
Okay, you seem
Thank you.
like you don't want to go down there, and while I'd rather
like what I
not
can
get my
see.
pants wet, I'll go down. And so Tim's gonna go down then with them as well. I just think we should have someone keep
Yeah,
watch.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. You can see that definitely this room, as you kind of like move down into the main room itself, it's filled with kind of crates, barrels, remains of sacks, all flooded, contents ruined, kind of floating around in here, and like kind of some kind of horrible soup of the remains of everything in here. But it's hard to say. It's just stale, stagnant, dark water down here. And
I'm assuming you're keeping the dancing lights with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Other reason why you go down.
I mean, like I can just send.
I
it
could have
down,
just
but
made a
yeah,
torch too.
That too.
I am going to.
No, no more torches. No.
Matt's just gonna roll something here.
Yep. Okay, let me see something here.
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna have to
While
bash
you're
the
doing
wall.
that,
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna roll a perception here.
Okay.
I'm looking around too, since I'm sitting on his
20.
shoulders.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll a d20 there.
Nokren's up the top, like mentally trying to
One
figure
more.
out where the passage goes under the floor.
Okay.
Just in case.
Red, what is your AC?
15.
Okay. Kind of rearing out of the water with this kind of like smack right into you is this humanoid form punching into you. Let me see how much he does.
Guys.
Bob!
You'll take 6 damage as he kind of just punches into your gut with like an unnatural strength. As you see this kind of like form, kind of like now standing out of it with like kind of flesh half like sinking off of it, of this strange like humanoid. You can see this kind of pointy ears and this kind of twisted maybe tail, as it's kind of got like kind of strange sunken in face as like kind of its
The radiant guy would be upstairs.
Is there a table here?
no, there's a lot of chairs and boxes and stuff. Or, well, they're all floating in the water, though. Like crates and stuff. It appears to be some kind of undead tabaxi.
Lovely.
Okay.
Roll some
Is
initiative.
anyone gonna
Help.
call out? Because Nokren has
Help.
no idea yet.
You pretty much are. Ah!
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. No, I'm
So-
coming down.
Everybody roll some initiative.
Why did I token that?
Red finally gets to fight.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm
That
upstairs.
makes sense considering how far back you were.
And how much you don't like the water.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I really. I want to see my enemies. I can't.
Rufus, what you got for your initiative? What you on?
Did you
I
click on
don't
your
know.
token first?
Yeah, I forgot to click on my token first.
That's what I did as well. I did that twice.
I did that.
I was like,
yeah, I did that before, but I guess you have to do it every game.
you got to do it every game, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what you have to do, but I did roll my initiative. I got
None of us can see it.
And none of us
Yeah,
can see it.
I
Yeah.
can't even see it either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just
click
on
your
find your
token,
icon, click
and then
initiative.
click the initiative button in the center of your character sheet up top.
Okay.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, that works. Okay, so Red, what do you want to do? This thing is in front of you. It's just smacked into you.
I quickly like scoot Rufus off towards a chair. Like, sorry, buddy, but
Okay, Rufus, give me an acrobatics check because he's dropping you on like.
He's literally just throwing you onto a chair.
It's.
Oh no.
Okay, you land on like a floating chair and you fall off because it was floating.
so rage.
Yes.
I get a +5 to
Because-
acrobatics.
Because some just walked up and hit me, so
Yeah.
advantage wins.
Holy fuck.
13.
Okay.
hit For 17 damage.
Okay. Let me make note of the dimensions taken.
Holy fuck.
You kind of.
So that hit.
Oh, that hit.
presumably.
That hit. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh wait, no, it was. Wait. It was 13 to hit.
Yeah.
Let me just check here. No, you missed.
That's not a normal zombie, guys.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Nope.
gathered that.
Okay. Next up is
How close is Nokren in right now?
Rufus. You are now in water.
Yeah,
I
am
guess
I gonna be
give
able to
me
get there
athletics
one
to
go?
swim, because you're probably, not tall enough.
Well, I'm 4'8".
Okay, so we can say you can stand in it, but you're like your head's above the water like this, kind of thing. You're like,
Well, it would be chest deep for
Yeah,
it.
he's
if
chest
you're,
deep.
If you're saying 3 feet,
Yeah.
it's about 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
It would be about chest deep.
okay,
for him.
she's chest deep. Okay.
It's not comfortable, but
He'd have to be like this to swing though.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
It,
So
it,
like,
it would be uncomfortable to attack with.
it's doable though.
It
it's-
works with daggers, to be honest.
Yes.
If it was a bigger thing, it'd probably have a problem.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Rufus? You've been kind of thrown to the side as.
how far away from the creature am I?
I'll say you're probably like 10 feet after getting thrown away.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to do a cunning action and hide in the water,
Uh huh.
and then come up and try to stab it with my rapier.
Okay.
I mean, you
No.
know.
No, you didn't.
rolled
You didn't
off
need to
of that
sneak
17.
anyway because Red's next to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so, all right. Oh.
I just want to use my
Tim!
cunning action. God dang it.
How far away from me right now is this creature, and how far away is Nokren?
20 feet each way. We're gonna say you're right in the middle. Nokren's
Okay,
like
so I
20
got
feet,
30
but he's also
to go,
like up
yeah.
the ladder too, so he's got to climb down the ladder to get in the water. And you
I'm
guys,
gonna-
you
I'm
guys
gonna
are.
make it to
This
get
thing seems to move like normal speed in the water. You guys are slowed down by it.
Is it
Oh,
half
no.
speed then?
I'll say
Yeah,
yeah, half speed. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Then I'm
it's
gonna
still pretty
take-
difficult to walk through 3 feet of water, even for like a medium creature.
So I'm gonna move 5 feet forward, basically. So taking 10 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Right. So that puts me out of range for Nokren. I was already out of range, but regardless, I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave, and I'm gonna create 2 pockets of safety using
Thank you.
Evocation Savant.
Yep.
Think-
Is
Is
that
that the right one?
Save.
No, that's
Okay.
not the right one.
No.
It's Sculpt Spells.
Wait, no.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
so that, and I'm gonna create pockets of safety
That
for Rufus
saved
and
her.
for
Yeah,
Red.
he's saved though, but he will take 6 damage, which is the
Yeah.
first damage he's taken.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sprint.
Okay.
I think I
Oh,
have to
wait.
double move.
Before
Oh.
that, I am backing up after
Oh,
that
okay.
for as much as I can.
Okay.
So I'm backing up.
So
Quick question. Since I did have an ally next to it, wouldn't I have had advantage?
no,
No.
No? Okay.
no.
That's why you get your sneak attack.
Yeah, that's why you get your
Sorry.
stick attack.
Right.
Anyway, it will it will seemingly be just as reckless as you.
It's a barbarian.
Yeah. So it's going to attack you back. Let me just roll 2d20 here.
How does that like?
It hits.
Yeah. Another d6. So you'll take 3 because you'll take half because it's just punching you.
That means we're all gonna get an advantage on melee attacks on now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
attacks in general.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
When I finally get to my turn, I might actually do something.
Okay.
I
It
think
is
it's
your
your turn.
turn then. Yes.
But you still have to get down here.
Yes.
Rude.
You can.
How far do I get if I do as far as I can possibly go in one turn?
What's your normal speed? 30.
Yeah.
You can get 15 feet, then plus another dash action of 15 feet, so you can get your full movement, right?
Yeah, you can be basically back at the same distance that. Oh wait, no, he
Tim?
moved then. That,
I moved back, so you could get to, like, where I was, which was 15 feet away from the creature.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll get that. That
you're-
means I can get
yeah.
to it now.
Yeah, you're in a position you can get to it next turn. Okay, Red. I guess you're up
Oh,
then.
fuck is that? Okay, continue.
I don't have
Yes.
to use reckless since it used reckless, right?
Technically, no.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, so I'm not gonna use reckless,
Hmm.
but still have advantage.
Ooh, baby.
That one hit. I think.
That one hits. Yes.
Yes.
I'm sad. It was 19 out of 20.
Yeah, it was so close.
That would have been
That's
too
still a lot of damage.
I know. Still sad.
It takes a good hit. It's still standing and still going strong. Because this thing is mean to you guys. And you're a great axe with slashing. Okay, great. Alright. Alright. So that moves us to... Oh, sorry. Rufus.
Rapier sneak
Yep.
with advantage.
Yep.
Damn!
Woo!
That's a good hit.
Okay.
I also do 15 damage.
Rapier does piercing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Your attack seems to be less effective, as if, like, its undead flesh protects it.
We should have said no to slashing damage.
As
Yeah,
if
totally.
poking into
Just slash
something,
rapier.
going for its heart, when its heart doesn't beat, isn't as effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
While cutting through bone, what's left of its bone and flesh, or smashing it seems more effective.
What a surprise.
Alright. And we'll move to Tim.
Because I'm kind of wanting to save a spell slot, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on it. That did not work.
Nope.
No,
Your,
wait.
your bolt flies.
Is it just?
It's
melee
advantage.
attack?
You have advantage. It's advantage attacks. Advantage attacks. You have advantage.
Oh, so I should cast again, or should I?
Just roll another
D20.
d20. Just roll another d20.
That's a lot of... That's a plus, like, 6 to hit. Damn. Damn!
That's better.
Okay, you will hit it and deal 5 fire damage to it. I mean, it is certainly not flammable because it's, you know...
It's been in water. I wasn't expecting it to, but
Yes.
the water is very hot now.
Yes.
Like the water that's on it specifically.
I mean, it seems accustomed to water, as if perhaps it is a water-based undead.
What a surprise.
It will be reckless towards Nokren again, because it's what it does.
Well, towards Nokren.
Not
So
Nokren.
it's
I mean,
Nokren.
I'm sorry, not Nokren. Red.
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 Green.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, I get hit.
you get hit.
I think that might be a hit.
So you'll take 4 more damage. Because it would have done 9, halved would be 4.
Almost half health. Barely above it.
Yep.
Okay,
Nokren.
finally,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wade up to it and smack it with the greatsword.
Okay.
Use a smite.
Oh, I forgot to do a thing.
Nah,
Yeah.
well, don't
Roll
do a
another.
thing now.
You do have
Okay, no, I
advantage.
forgot.
You do have
Oh, yeah, yeah.
advantage.
Yeah.
You gotta remind us of these
Yeah.
things because
It was reckless. You guys have advantage on all your attacks.
Hey!
Yes.
Okay, so 7, and then I'm gonna do. Since I hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Like the second I connect, just this flare of radiant energy just.
Yeah. Red.
By the way, you don't know how much that flare of radiant energy might have just influenced Red.
You're like, oh, shiny, awesome.
All right. Obviously, another great axe swing. What else is he gonna do?
Yep.
16. That was a terrible damage roll, but 7 more.
Yep. Okay. Then we have Rufus.
I don't have anything better than a rapier, so rapier.
You have a dagger.
Dagger still was piercing.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's an assassin's dagger, though. But karambits are slicing. That's stupid. Because karambits
Yeah.
are used for slicing, hooking and
I
slicing.
mean,
That's what they're
you can
designed for.
ask Tantus nicely if the karambit will do slashing.
Because that's what they're used for in real life. I'm just wondering if it's a consistency thing.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yes.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh, my heart.
Good thing it has advantage.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes. Hello. Cast a magic missile at the darkness.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Nice.
All right. You summon up a bunch of missiles and blast them into it. As it kind of goes to like kind of punch into Red again, the blasts kind of knock into it. As it kind of like you see part of its head kind of fly off, and it kind of staggers back and with these blast marks in it, and falls back into the water and disappears beneath it.
As it starts to fall
Mhm.
and sink, Red grabs it
Mhm.
and just like starts breaking parts of it to make sure it won't come back.
Sure.
Completely reasonable, honestly.
Mhm.
I'd like to do an investigation check. See if we can find anything useful.
Okay.
Walker's gonna realize where he is now and be
Holy
like,
crap.
All right. You will
Walker's
discover.
gonna start
Okay.
wading towards the entrance again.
Yeah.
Oh,
You will find okay, there are 3 exits from this room. 2 which are currently noticeable, which seem to have been actually, like, probably, if they were properly in place, they would have been secret doors. And a third that is
Actually.
actually a secret door that you're going to discover.
this is what Nokren's gonna do.
I mean, it was undead.
Is
What is-
anything else in these rooms undead? I'm gonna look
No.
through.
No. But
No,
you
okay.
also will find, kind of when you're, like, looking around and noticing these, there's, like, a sack that was beneath the water. One that seems to have been a little heavier. So you kind of investigate it,
It's
and
full of water.
you discover
What a
that there's
surprise.
what's left of what appears to have probably been a scroll, and a bottle with some kind of liquid in it, maybe like a potion or something, and a little, like, token that looks like a swan.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hand the bag with the stuff in it to Rufus.
Mhm.
And just say, there's a potion in here, there's what was a scroll, but it seems to not really
It's
be a
quite
scroll anymore.
waterlogged.
It's a little bit, we're gonna need to dry it, and then we'll see if that helps. And if not, then hey, I've got some more parchment. And
Prestidigitation.
yeah, well, you know, oh yeah, I guess I could really just prestidigitation that, couldn't I?
Mhm.
Well, then
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you can dry
prestidigitation that.
something.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
dry it.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
I
for
mean,
reminding me.
I mean, it's dry, and it's just like paper now. It's like
Hey,
slightly,
more
straw.
paper.
it's slightly
Yay.
damaged paper.
Yay!
Slightly damaged.
That's okay. I'll keep the paper. It helps.
Um,
But then I'll also note the swan, and I'll say, you know, this seems a little odd that there's a swan in here.
yes.
But you're holding on to the sacks that we find here, so do you mind holding this one too?
Sure.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to point out it's after 11.
I was gonna finish up this area here.
Okay.
And then we were gonna stop. Okay.
So
All right. I'll just give you a summary, kind of what you could find down here.
because like we're gonna find everything
yeah.
with that
Um,
fifth
yeah.
nat 20
So the
today.
first,
Oh my
so
God.
opening the secret chamber door, you'll find what looks to be an old shrine. It's got some kind of altar in it, and the altar is stained with like red on top.
red.
Oh yeah.
Not good, Red.
Not good red. Yes, it's kind of barely sticking out of the water. Kind of with things. Just looking around, you can find like a rusty dagger and a few small objects that probably was used for some kind of ritual. It's now all ruined. The second chamber that had a partially open secret door, so you could find it easier, has chains hanging from the ceiling. And impaled on a couple of them are humanoid skeletons. Like, they're like big, like, meat hooks on the end.
Lovely.
You can see that the bodies were kind of disfigured in some kind of way. Hard to say if it was when it was alive or dead. And you will notice there are countless bodies kind of hidden beneath the water here.
Nope. Back up.
Nope.
The last chamber is disturbing yet intriguing, we'll call it. There are 3 tables in here, each with a large amount of tools. They're rusted and ruined because of the humidity, out of the water, fortunately, but you can see signs of blood stains that cover them. One table is covered with bones and skulls and what have maybe been like dried organs. The last table, though, not the tools, not the bones, is what draws your attention. There's a number of jars on it, each with a severed head. And when you kind of look at them, the heads are still moving.
So yes, he sensed more undead.
Now you sense more undead.
Well, I didn't follow you guys there. As soon as I saw like the bodies under the water, the things, I waited there.
Yeah.
If I needed to come, I would have come, but I waited there.
Yeah, there's zombified heads in these jars.
Yeah, I'm doing some Arcana around here, just generally trying to figure out, is there anything...
It looks as though
Is there a
probably
source or
they
anything?
brought whoever was being killed or sacrificed, put them on the big chains. When they were processed, they brought them in here for more processing. Kind of horrific.
Yeah.
So
Witch
Red
Doctor
takes-
Hut?
Red takes down all the bodies off the hooks
Yeah.
and then just smashes the altar to hell.
Yeah.
I did do a religion check on that altar as well, but I'm assuming that didn't get anything with 14.
Unfortunately, just also because it's been destroyed and waterlogged, it's evil. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, basically
Yep.
cult.
Yeah.
Can we
I
tell,
got culty off there.
like, released from the zombified heads and maybe the bodies, like, what kind of creatures these were?
It actually seems to be a collection of a couple of different races. Like, one does appear to be actually human. The others, like a couple seem to be of Tabaxi, and one of them seems to be Kalida, and 2 are races that you just seem to be familiar with.
Okay.
But we will leave off here in the shrine with the horrible shrines and a place where these guys were doing some terrible things.
We didn't find any, like, goodies down there, though, before we go.
I
Did
mean, you technically found a bag of goodies
Yes.
already.
Is it, though?
Uh-huh.
Is that a bag of goodies? You
It is.
sure?
It is.
Still have the don't we have the captain's
got a
thing
potion.
to exploit?
It's a
Oh, was that the
potion
captain?
and a token.
Medallion.
Yeah, a token.
Was that the captain's shack, or do we still have the captain's
No.
shack to search?
The chieftain's hut?
You're
Yeah, that
not
was
sure.
cheating.
You're not sure,
Not
actually.
sure.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
don't
We
know
still
what...
have the big house to search as well.
Yes. This did have secret chambers, but you're not sure if this would necessarily be the chieftains and these were the secret chambers we're talking about, or if another one is, because
True.
you don't have a way of identifying anything in here. But you guys can
Yep,
continue
okay.
searching, and perhaps a Grits can catch up to you and be very confused about how the hell she got there successfully and alive. With stories of her own to
Fly,
tell.
you fools!
Yes.
She took the eagles.
She took the Eagles, yes. hmm But we'll take a break from here today. Why don't everybody give a let people know like who they are, what they're doing, and stuff like
If I
that.
could just do my wrap up first, because I
Sure.
really do have
Yeah,
to run.
you get a good run. Okay, so Joe.
So, I promote you. I will see everyone this Saturday with Discussing Tabletop.
I'll have to talk to you about that. I might have to cancel Saturday. I'll let you know that.
Oh, okay. I might not see everybody on
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes. I'll talk to you about it though. We'll work it out if
Okay.
we're doing anything else. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna
Bye,
say
Joe.
bye.
Bye. Bye, Joe.
Bye.
It's gonna mess up everybody's cameras though, but that's
Sorry.
Yeah. Bye.
fine. Tesh, why don't you give your shout out for the couple of
Hi,
seconds?
Yeah.
It only
Hi,
only
I'm
messed up
Tesh.
Tim. It looks like.
What?
Well, first
Oh, it
episode.
only messed up Tim. Okay, cool. Hi. So I'm Tesh of the Tesh Tube. I have a YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. All the Tesh Tube. So yeah. D&D is awesome. Next.
Oh, I messed up everything. There it goes. Okay.
Oh, no,
Tim.
no.
Tim, you're over at Tim's spot now, and I don't know where okay, we're really messed up. I can kind of see. Tim, why don't you give yours? I knew it was gonna happen.
Hey, I'm still like in one piece though.
Yes, you are still in one piece.
Tim, not so much.
nor Tim. Tim.
Hi. I play Red here. I'm Tavalic pretty much everywhere else. And I might be able to play the Force tomorrow with you guys. It really depends on if I can drive back or if I can use the internet out at my cousin's house. We'll see.
Let me know and we'll figure out what we're doing. Yep. Cool. And Winter Bear.
What's up?
I mean, shoutouts. As you're in
Oh.
like two places at once now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit distracted. So let's see here.
It's what happens when someone leaves Skype in the middle of the call.
Yeah. So Winter Bear Games on Twitch. Doing regular Tuesday streams. I was unwell this week, so I didn't stream, but I will be back next week for Tuesday. This Sunday would normally be Sundays with Holly. That is not happening. Yeah. I don't know what else. I don't know what else is going on. Winter Bear on
Monday.
YouTube if you want. What's on Monday? Oh,
Or
right.
either I don't know if we're doing it on stream or not yet, but
Yeah. I think we are. We agreed on that,
Okay.
didn't we?
okay.
We're
I
gonna
think
play
so.
some. We're gonna
I
play
think
some
so.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Go play some Rainbow Six Siege. We're gonna shoot them up real good.
Hey, Tesh, you free Monday?
At like
we
5
have
o'clock Pacific
5
Standard
a.m.
Time.
Yeah, no.
No. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard
Oh.
Time, which is like
Cool.
the same time that you and I were talking about doing something else as well. It's like when we start this stream,
Oh, yeah. Yeah?
but it's on my
my
Monday, so that
Tuesday.
might be your Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fair.
So hey, maybe Tesh
Days
and
are
Tiv and I
weird.
are gonna be playing Rainbow Six
Rainbow.
Siege.
We'll see.
Definitely Winter and I, though.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if Tesh is awake.
Yeah.
As for myself, I'm of course Dracovin. You can find me here. I'll be back tomorrow morning, probably with more 7 Days to Die. Yeah, I'm trying to finish up what I'm doing in that until Alpha 17 comes out because, yes. And I think that, and maybe the Forest tomorrow evening. We'll see. We'll do something. I'll do something tomorrow evening. I don't know what yet. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. You can check out all my links below, etc., etc. I got monetization on YouTube. It only took a month and a half. I was expecting
Hey.
more.
Rats.
I know. I checked it today, and I'm like, wait a second, what's this? Under videos, monetization. What the hell did that happen? You didn't let me know. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, so yep. I think that's everything. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have all 5 of us then for more great, crazy adventures, and then can kill more things and more horrible stuff in this place. Yay! Red got to kill something.
Yay.
He was happy. But
Well,
anyway.
I kind of stole it from him.
Undead are like weak to force damage, aren't they?
I mean, it gets through a lot of their resistances, which it has, which this guy didn't have a lot of resistances, fortunately. He wasn't the worst undead to fight.
I
So,
was happy with that
That's next.
radiant hit.
that's the next one you fight.
We should rest somewhere, by the way, next session, because I used all my spells.
Back to the boat.
Back to the boat, everyone. Anyway,
I mean, honestly-
think back to the Fisher's hut. But anyways,
Yeah, I was gonna say this place, if we have like a building we've already searched, would be better than trying to find
I
somewhere
mean, you
else.
technically searched this one. Upstairs is really nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. This house was better together. So
Yeah. You know, it's
Yeah,
just the
always
basement's
great
kind the basement's
live
kind of
over a
hard.
ritual sacrifice room.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
We'll talk about it next week.
yes,
though.
we'll talk about it next week. But thank you all for joining, and we'll hope to see you here next week then. And for more D&D adventures, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.